Have you ever been scrolling around at 3 a.m. and discovered something ultra disturbing? I remember one night where I found something that has traumatized me ever since. The night was dark, the sounds of rain and thunder were clear in my window, with only the glow of my desktop screen and the lightning being the light. I was scrolling through TikTok when I found an eerie video which I've never found again, but I don't think I want to find it. It was a normal video. A girl was lip syncing and dancing like every other popular content when, unexpectedly, the screen went dark. What I saw next, I could only look into with extreme horror and fear. My reflection. Okay, today we're talking about spooky TikTok videos and general disturbing and horrifying content. Please consider subscribing. I have spent sleepless nights researching all these topics to bring you this amazingly spooky video. I am very close to my goal of reaching 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year, which thank you guys so much again. It means so much to me. I love you guys. Also, be sure to follow my Instagram, join my Discord server. We can talk, we can chat. And without further ado, I'm Poi, and let's start this iceberg and delve into the waters of disturbing TikTok content. True crime. This first entry is regarding the massive amount of TikTok videos that cover crimes. Many TikTokers focus their content on only these types of videos and cover new cases and older cases, both well-known and obscure. This kind of content has been very popular with true crime podcasts, YouTubers, and TV shows existing before any short-form true crime content creators. With the introduction of TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, the short-form Subway Surfers gameplay, AI, Reddit text-to-speech videos, just like my other videos, but I'm not an AI, I swear, have made these types of videos popular, with them being able to skim the surface of cases really quickly and easily, as in very easily palatable kind of content. Even I have delved into this kind of content before. Go check out my missing persons iceberg. Next up we have Deep Talk. Deep Talk is a site of TikTok that hosts these niche, weird, almost cursed videos. These videos look like what you'd see in a soup video, deep fried videos and memes filled with creepy faces, frog people, and apparently Lin-Manuel Miranda edits. These videos generally have two different purposes: to be seen as almost creepy and bizarre, and being funny and a product of the memes in 2020 and 2021. This is basically right off the boat of Beano's, Ugandan Knuckles, deep fried, Who Touched My Spaghetti, and Tide Pod memes. Very Grande A-esque content. Also, these videos almost remind me of the weird nature of Arab funny type memes, like this one. Horror Talk. Horror Talk is referring to the site of TikTok filled with horror content, whether that is reviewing and talking about horror movies, web series, TV shows, or making their own horror content. Horror Talk has it all. Horror Talk has many subgenres with deeper and more obscure content, but this is your run-of-the-mill spooky, scary skeletons content. There's not much to really say about this. It's not too disturbing, although some TikToks deeper in the rabbit hole of horror content can be seen as scary. The one thing I remember from a while ago was this weird movie people who were talking about a movie that was like too disturbing called Megan is Missing. It's actually not that scary, but found footage films do tend to be seem real and give off a disturbing vibe, and the movie is based on numerous abduction cases. And if you like disturbing movies like that, go check out my disturbing psychological horror films iceberg video. Analog horror content. This entry is obviously about the TikTok creators who post their own analog horror content. These can be simple as trend videos, explanation videos to analog horror, to actual analog horror series. Some of these videos can be really good, while others are as simple and low effort as slapping on a VHS filter and having a really simple storyline. Other analog horror videos can include the use of AI to make really scary monsters. In the world of content creation, short-form content like TikTok usually doesn't require a lot of effort to create, and with views being easy to get, a lot of creators go with either having it along their normal content or solely short-form content. The blow-up of AI has also contributed to the laziness of content creation, especially with AI images and videos. We can all agree that the worst form of AI slop are those weird Quibble cop reaction videos. He fell off hard. That was the first layer, so not really anything disturbing yet, but this next layer is full of challenges and trends that are either dangerous, stupid, or both. I, Poi, obviously do not condone any of these challenges. Don't do them, and instead watch me speak about them instead. With that out of the way, let's get straight into layer 2, starting with rotoscope filter. The rotoscope filter entry is the only entry that doesn't actually go into the stupid or dangerous category. The rotoscope filter is a TikTok filter filter that turns a user's video into very colorful, turning them into a rainbow silhouette. When you think about this, it seems like a really cool filter, one of those things that would be used to create really interesting videos different from the other dancing, head nodding over music videos on TikTok during the time it was introduced. Although, like every single trend and new thing, people find ways to turn it into something NSFW. People, primarily women, would make videos using this filter dancing and removing their clothes with the filter on. My problem with this, which I'm sure many people also agree with, is that this type of content is a problem, especially on TikTok, because it has a lot of children on it. Of course, no one can be fully free from children. I've grown up with unrestricted internet access and I'm not clean, but to have these thirst traps and other similar ones are very popular. Softcore NSFW content is used widely to pan to gooners, and this can be easily seen by children as well. People are really aware of this and have used the rotoscope filter videos to make their own clickbait content on how to remove the filter. This isn't very popular anymore, but during 2022, many videos were made on YouTube and other sites on how to remove the filter, all of them being clickbait. Once a video has been posted with the filter, it's impossible to remove, but many thirsty people still try their luck at finding a way to remove it, so you know, what these girls are doing in the videos, they want to see it without the filter. I even saw like an app claiming to remove the filter, but it just most likely is filled with ads to make money on unsuspecting losers. Devious licks. Devious licks were a very popular trend in 2021 where people would steal things from various places, but most were from school. This started out with small things like stealing a pencil from your economics teacher, taking a bunch of masks, and stuff like that, but with all trends, people jump on board and go even further for more views. The things being stolen got bigger with entire soap dispensers, fire alarms, paper towel dispensers, and even urinals. The bathroom was an easy target with there being no cameras, and people went wild, stealing and trashing school bathrooms to post on TikTok. A bunch of schools retaliated, making bathrooms inaccessible and heavily monitored, going back to bathroom passes, getting police involved, etc. Many people were arrested for trashing and stealing things, and it got very out of control. My favorite part about this trend was the retaliation of devious licks with angelic yields. This was basically the opposite of devious licks, where students would leave things instead of take, like soap, toilet paper, even going as far as decorating bathrooms. This is a rare sighting of people taking something bad and malicious and turning it into a positive and nice thing. Milk Crate Challenge. The Milk Crate Challenge is a challenge first made popular in 2021, where people would make a line of milk crates in the shape of a triangle, walking up and down it without falling. The higher a person would go on the crates, the higher the risk of the crates falling were, due to it not being like really stable. The risk of falling and getting hurt only made successfully walking to the end more rewarding. This is obviously a dumb challenge, but many people will do things that are potentially harmful for a lot of views. I remember seeing medical professionals advising people to not do this because obviously you're gonna hurt yourself and break bones, which did happen. There were a lot of videos of people doing this and like hurting themselves. As much as people did this on grass, which is even still hard enough to seriously hurt you, a lot of people did it on concrete and other harder ground. Please don't take part in this, because not only will you not get popular because this trend is dead, but you will also hurt yourself. The worst part about the people falling is the lack of empathy and like the people recording them. There are many YouTube videos showing proof of people breaking bones and seriously injuring themselves, but they all have backgrounds of people just laughing and cracking jokes about it. Full face hot wax challenge. The full face hot wax challenge is not really a challenge, but more of a trend where wax specialists would give fully facial waxes, covering the customer's face fully with wax. This was made popular in 2021 by the Dutch barbershop Capsalon Freedom, with the barber Rinus Ismail saying that these waxes are very beneficial. The face would be so covered that Q-tips would be inserted in the nose and other places to create airways to breathe. Obviously, having to create airways means these facial waxes could be potentially dangerous, so many warnings were made against this type of wax. These Q-tips also have wax on them so that the inside of the nose can be waxed as well. Because wax hardens, it can be painful and harmful for a person to peel off, especially in delicate places like the ear canal or nostrils. Many doctors, specialists, and even the British Association of Dermatologists have advised people not to partake in this, stating it's harmful to skin. The skin is the largest organ in the human body and is very sensitive, especially so in certain spots like around the eyes, and waxing can irritate it, so this is just like a dumb challenge people did, a dumb little trend. Banana and Sprite Challenge. The Banana and Sprite Challenge was a challenge in which you have to eat 2 bananas and chug Sprite as fast as you can. The challenge has existed as far back as the year 2000, or at least that's the earliest record that I could personally find, but it's been popular and revived multiple times, with a big revival on TikTok in 2022. Apparently it was popularized in 2022 after the YouTuber and streamer iShowSpeed did the challenge. The problem and reason why it's a challenge in the first place is due to the combination of eating the banana and drinking Sprite causing vomiting. Because Sprite is a soft drink, carbon dioxide is released from your stomach and goes up your esophagus and out your mouth. This is, of course, burping shoddy. Bananas are rich in protein, and when meeting carbon dioxide, it coagulates and creates a foam. The same thing happens whenever you add ice cream to soda, except it's the proteins in the milk and sugar which makes ice cream float. This foam, however, is bad because the stomach can only hold on to so much, which the foam exceeds by expanding. The only way the foam can go is out, and it does, creating vomiting. It's nasty and uncomfortable, but I do believe it isn't as bad as actually throwing up because no stomach acid is pushed up. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments, but you shouldn't want to willingly throw up anyways. Alright, next we have teeth shaving trend. The teeth shaving trend can be about two different types of teeth shaving. The first type is people on TikTok using nail files to file down the very ends of their teeth into a more flat and smooth shape. Most teeth, due to chewing and other factors like acidity, have uneven bumps at the bottom of their teeth. The teeth are made of dentin and an outside layer of enamel, and unlike nails or hair, enamel cannot be replaced. Without enamel, the sensitive dentin can be exposed and cause pain that is irreversible. This is especially true to those with uneven teeth. If one is more low than the other and is shaved down to length, it could possibly go through the dentin to the pulp where the nerves are. Dentists actually polish and smooth the teeth down to make them like more even, but being an actual professional, they do it with care and knowledge. The process is called enameloplasty, and the contouring of the teeth does strip down the enamel and cause sensitivity, but it's done safely and is at like a lesser extreme than using a nail file to do so. The other trend that this entry could be talking about is people shaving their teeth down to small, almost shark-like teeth. This is done so that porcelain veneers can be placed, making the teeth look new. Shaving down teeth for veneers is also something done by professionals, but the problem is people doing it by themselves with files to get ready for veneers. At first look, veneers seem very convenient and interesting. Having perfect teeth that go over your real teeth seems nice, but the problem with veneers is that not only do they cost an actual fortune, like oh my god, look at this price, but they also need to be replaced every few years. This is definitely not worth the cost of ruining your real teeth to have shiny, white, fake teeth. The people who did this both ruined their own teeth and caused problems for themselves both financially and medically. Please take care of your teeth even if you don't like them. Having yellow and crooked teeth is common and normal, and it's easier and less costly to maintain your teeth from the start rather than pay the price and get veneers. If you haven't already, go brush your teeth right now. And if you have, go brush them again, especially after a meal. Love your teeth and be grateful you have them. Yeah, man. Penny challenge. The penny challenge is a TikTok challenge that went viral in 2020. The challenge involved someone plugging in a charger block halfway, then touching a penny to the prongs that are exposed. The person doing so would then be shocked by the electrical current going through the prongs into the penny. The outlet could also catch fire if this is done. Obviously, this is a stupid trend and I don't even know why people do this. I'm sure there's a fork and outlet challenge that probably went viral like 2 years ago. The challenge blew up again for a small while in 2021 after a mother on Twitter posted about how her Amazon Echo suggested the penny challenge when her 10-year-old child asked to suggest challenges. This honestly reminds me of how like the Google Chrome AI gives you blatantly false information about normal things. Even before that, Google was saying that the PS5 had 69 terashits per megafart. Now, the next layer has even more challenges and trends being more dangerous, harmful, and stupid. And as I said for the last layer, don't participate in these trends. They're stupid and dumb, and you'll just get hurt because no one cares about it anymore. Stay safe, keep snacking whatever you're eating if you're eating, keep drinking water, and stay hydrated as we delve into layer 3. Shooting Orbeez trend. The shooting Orbeez trend is a 2022 trend where people would buy Orbeez/gel ball guns and shoot people. This seems innocent enough, some nice fun like Nerf wars or water balloons, but media outlets and police departments sent out a warning saying that this trend is dangerous and could land you with charges. Now, my brother, if you're watching, I am reporting you. The last time I showed up to my brother's house, he greeted me with an Orbeez gun, and it hurt, bro. It hurt. Anyways, apparently, a 19-year-old man went around shooting people with one of these gel guns, even shooting a 10-year-old child. He was charged with abuse and battery. The police said that these guns could cause harm and sometimes looks too much like a gun and could be seen as one. While I believe that some gel guns can be realistic, the majority are just like Nerf guns, colorful and obviously a toy. Gel beads can be a bit painful due to the high pressure it's shot at, but if it's body shots, you should be fine. It's like how paintballs hurt, yet people still play paintball, at least with face coverings and the like. You should obviously only shoot these guns to people who know that it's happening and consent to it. Shooting at random people is stupid and could potentially be harmful or dangerous to them and you. In 2022, a New York citizen from the Bronx was fatally shot by an off-duty officer. The officer stated that he felt strikes on his back and, believing he was being shot at, drew his gun and shot into a car, killing him. He said that the car sped off and he wondered if he actually hit anyone, and then he was charged with the murder of him. Tide Pod Challenge. Okay, so you might be thinking, boy, this is the easiest challenge. I use Tide Pods in my laundry every day. No, Shadi, this is a different challenge. A more dangerous and stupid one. I know whenever you go to do your laundry and pick up one of those squishy orbs up, you stop and think, I wonder if this will pop into my mouth like a gusher. Or maybe like the white stuff looks like cream. But put it down and listen to me, dude. Don't eat the Tide Pods. Don't do it. Don't do it. The Tide Pod Challenge was a meme in 2017 to 2018 that blew up. And it was originally a meme because really, who would actually ever do this? Many people uploaded fake videos of them eating them as a joke, but apparently some people didn't see through it and thought they were actually eating them, and then they decided to eat them. Tide Pod consumption is a more common accident with children under 5, but in 2017 and 2018, many cases of those above 5 getting poisoned by Tide Pods were said to be on purpose, with 25% of the 220 teens in 2017 doing so. So basically 220 teens did it in 2017, and it's believed that 25% of them did it on purpose. And apparently, of the first 37 cases of teen Tide Pod consumption in 2018, half of them were on purpose. But around 130 cases, if not more, happened during the full year. Something unrelated to the Tide Pod meme, but related to the consumption of Tide Pods, people with dementia account for the majority of deaths in the United States from Tide Pod consumption since their original introduction in 2012. Up until 2017, only 8 deaths were recorded, with 6 of them being adults with dementia. Tide Pods can be easily mistaken for candy, especially by children and those with dementia. Please put up any Tide Pods or laundry detergent, especially if you live in a home with young children or someone with dementia. I genuinely hate touching Tide Pods, and I have to like deep clean my hands after doing so because it makes me feel so dirty. Blackout Challenge. The Blackout Challenge is a challenge that became viral in 2021 on TikTok. It involves being choked until you black out for the purpose of euphoria. Choking games have been a thing since before the introduction of the internet, favored by gooners and freaks. But with the internet, the less freaky side of choking yourself has been favored, at least on TikTok. The euphoria given by getting choked is why many teens do it as a challenge, with it being a way to get semi-high without doing any kind of drugs. Although things like the Benadryl challenge do exist too, which I'm surprised isn't on this list. But I'll still talk about it after this entry, as well as some other challenges that I believe should be here, just to give all the real Poi fans more content. Anyways, looking at these challenges, we think that no one would really try this, but considering choking as a whole, the amount of thrill seekers in the era of the early 2020s TikTok and the amount of curious children on the platform, it wasn't long until death started to happen. In 2021, 3 children before the age of 15 died from partaking in this challenge. A 9-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 12-year-old. The family of the children aged 8 and 9 tried to sue TikTok for the deaths of their children, but the judge that undertook the case dismissed it, stating that the app is protected by Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which protects apps and platforms on the internet from being held liable for content posted by users. Benadryl Challenge. The Benadryl Challenge is a TikTok challenge made popular in 2022. It involves taking around 8 to 12 Benadryl, which is about the amount required to hallucinate, and then filming these hallucinations. The hallucinations are often connected to memes about meeting the Hat Man and stories about nightmare trips, but even with these stories and concerns about bad trips with Benadryl, many still do take it. When this challenge became originally viral, authorities like the FDA sent a warning out against the overconsumption of Benadryl, stating that it can lead to psychosis, delirium, organ damage, convulsions, comas, and even death. Even through this, many were hospitalized in 2020 for the overdose of Benadryl. In May of 2020, 3 children were admitted to the Cook's Children's Medical Center in Fort Worth, Texas for Benadryl overdose, with 2 cases happening in the same day. Later in August, Chloe Phillips, a 15-year-old girl from Oklahoma, overdosed on Benadryl. Another confirmed death happened in 2023 after the challenge was repopularized. Jacob Stevens, a 13-year-old boy from Columbus, Ohio, died after being in critical care for 6 days when he overdosed on Benadryl. He had his friends film him and had convulsions and suffered major brain damage from it. TikTok removed the ability to search the word Benadryl and to put Benadryl as a hashtag, but of course it has been circumvented by searching terms along the lines of Benna Challenge. Please don't take Benadryl to hallucinate. It's not a a good drug to hallucinate on. Momo Challenge. The Momo Challenge was a challenge hoax that went viral in 2019. It involved users being harassed by a fictional character named Momo and being forced or coerced to self-harm, harm others, or commit suicide. The picture used by Momo was a sculpture made by a Japanese artist in 2016. The woman doesn't have a torso, but instead the legs of a chicken or bird connected to her shoulders, and is like of a woman with a creepy face and long black hair, although she still does have boobs for some reason. The name of the sculpture is a mother bird, but is more commonly called Momo. It was made for an art show, and the artist makes a lot of other sculptures that are purposefully made to be like disturbing to look at. This particular statue was inspired by a ghost story the artist was told as a child. The story is about a woman dying in childbirth and becoming a bird-like creature that haunts the area that she died in. The story can be closely related to the yokai named Ubume. Ubume are the yokai of women who died during childbirth, and are often depicted as normal women who try handing the passerby her child. And then when this passerby takes the child, she'll disappear and the person will realize that they're holding only rocks and leaves. Stories from China and Japan frequently intertwine, creating the narrative that the bird spirit that stole the children, Kokakucho, or night-going leisure women, and Ubume were the same. This idea is further corroborated by another yokai named Ubametori. This yokai is popular in the Ibaraki prefecture of Japan, and it's said that it could be the changed form of the woman who died from childbirth. The Momo Challenge inspired many people to make their own accounts to harass children on social media, which caused mass panic all over the world. There have never been any confirmed reports of Momo causing any actual cases of harm or suicide in the children, but just the thought of it is enough to send many people into panic. The fear of this was very exaggerated, and the story I'm about to tell you is wild. A police officer saw his son watching Minecraft content when an ad popped up about Momo. The dude searched it up and saw the suicide game challenge. This was enough for news stations like Fox to reach out to Microsoft for a comment on Momo. I'm not sure if the ad was really a mod for Minecraft about Momo or what it was, but Mojang and Microsoft said that they would do their best to restrict access to this mod. It is crazy how a spooky sculpture caused so much terror in 2019. The creator of Momo and another woman who was mistaken as a creator were harassed with death threats over Momo, and even the Vanilla Gallery, which is the gallery that had the Momo sculpture on display for their Japanese ghost story summer exhibition, and that gallery was sent death threats too. And then the artist threw the sculpture away after it was degrading, saying, quote, "If you'd have seen it in the state it was in, it would have probably looked even more terrifying." He also said that the children can be reassured Momo is dead, she doesn't exist, and the curse is gone. And this artist is actually really talented. His name is Kisuke Eso, I think. Let me look over the pronunciation, actually, I could be wrong. Okay, so it's Keisuke Eso, I think. But yeah, he's great, he's talented. Jonathan Galindo. Jonathan Galindo is the fake name of various images of an ugly and cursed Goofy cosplay. Much like the Momo hoax, accounts under the name Jonathan Galindo would harass children and threaten them with doxing and harm if they were not to follow instructions. These accounts would specifically try to get users to play the Blue Whale Challenge, a Russian suicide game that went viral in 2016. The game would be played for 50 days with various challenges that involved self-harm until the 50th day, where the person would commit suicide. The Blue Whale Challenge will not be an extra entry as it was popularized way before TikTok, but it is a very important part of the Jonathan Galindo hoax. The origins of the picture used by Jonathan Galindo accounts is from Samuel Canini, who goes under the name Dusky Sam. The pictures were used from 2012 and 2013 images of Dusky in a Goofy imitation costume, which he calls Larry the Goof, which is genuinely so funny and ugly. I like the Reddit Milady post. It reminds me of all my mods in my Discord, which, by the way, go join my Discord, we have a lot of fun there. I remember when this got popular, many people made videos trolling those Jonathan Galindo accounts, which, look at this, look at this thumbnail. Lip suction trend. The lip suction trend, or more well known as Kylie Jenner lip challenge, is a challenge first made popular in 2015, but brought back to TikTok in 2022. The challenge involves putting a cup over your lips to create a suction, holding that suction for a while makes your lips come out plump, resembling the look of lip fillers. The challenge is called the Kylie Jenner Challenge after the accusations and later confirmation of Kylie's use of lip fillers since she was 17. The challenge was made popular in 2022 after YouTuber and streamer IShowSpeed did the challenge. He did it for way longer than you're supposed to, going on 15 minutes before revealing very swollen lips, looking like he got stung by like 50 bees. The challenge isn't very harmful, but if done for periods of time like Speed did, it can lead to bruising, and there's also the chance that the cup can break if it's made out of glass, and that can, cut you. Eye bleaching color change challenge. The eye bleaching color change challenge, or hashtag bright eye challenge, is a challenge that went viral on TikTok in 2019. The challenge included filling a bag with bleach, shaving cream, and hand sanitizer and holding the bag up to one eye for a minute. After the minute is over, the eye should be a brighter color. You might be curious, how does it work? I should go ahead and make this concoction so I can show my friend I have bright, beautiful eyes, right? Well, shoddy, number one, you already have beautiful eyes. And number two, this is fake. I know, shocking how a bag of slop chemicals doesn't change the color of your eye when pressed against your eye through a bag. All the videos made were faked by either effects or colored contact lenses. It's just a stupid challenge made to troll and waste people's time, and the only way I can think this could be harmful is if someone accidentally gets this concoction like into their eyes. But I don't know, there could be other effects, so like I'm not condoning it. Don't do this challenge, please do not try this. There are ways to change eye color, from simple changes like colored contacts to iris implants, and even corneal tattooing. Corneal tattooing inks the surface of the eye, which can lead to health problems. I don't like thinking about that. Corneal tattooing is banned in many states due to its risk of infection and blindness. I'd be afraid to even get a needle like an inch close to my eye, so I'm definitely not gonna be doing this one, guys. Now, you know what? If this video gets 1 billion views, then I'll tattoo my eye. Okay, I'll vlog it. Angel of Death Challenge. The Angel of Death Challenge is an internet challenge that originally went viral in 2021 and 2022. The challenge involves jumping in front of moving cars and hoping that they'll stop. Seriously, guys, what kind of challenge is this, and who thinks this is a good idea? There are many videos online of people doing this challenge unsuccessfully and being run over. This challenge has also been recreated in video games like Grand Theft Auto, which, I mean, I guess you can do it in a video game. But in real life, never do this. It's very stupid to try this, and you're just gonna get hurt very badly. Cars cannot instantly stop, so there's a high chance that you'll be hit. And also, it's just stupid, bro, like, whatever. Skull Breaker Challenge. The last entry in this layer is a challenge that went viral in 2020. The challenge involves two people kicking the feet of someone in between them, causing the person to fall. The reason it's called the Skull Breaker Challenge is it's like obviously going to cause skull fractures and other head-related trauma, including death. But to the participant of the challenge, it's disguised as a normal challenge. There have been cases where people have died due to participating in this challenge. It's horrible to think that people would actually do that to others knowing that they are going to get injured. One New Jersey child who had the prank pulled on him was severely injured and had a seizure after the quote prank was done on him. This led the two 7th graders who did it to him to receive aggravated assault charges, which is a good thing. And then also a 16-year-old Brazilian girl died after being a part of this challenge, which is not good. Alright, so that was layer 3, some very crazy things. So if you need a break, go take one and drink some water, eat, get in some exercise, This next layer and the layers after it are no more of these horrible challenge, but instead some dark things, like what you came to this video for, including a child murder, predator, and more. Buckle up and let's get on with layer 4. Cara Santarelli crash. The entry Cara Santarelli crash refers to the crash that killed 18-year-old high school senior and TikToker Cara Santarelli in 2023. The reason this is on the iceberg is due to one of her posts 6 days prior to her crash. In the video, Santarelli is seen posing in her car with a caption that states, quote, "When they tried to call me a bad driver, but I've never hit a person or an actual car." Looking at this boastful TikTok about her driving skills, you might come to believe that it was her own doing, but in fact, Santarelli didn't even do anything wrong that day. It was just merely being in the wrong place at the wrong time. On her way down Highway 29 in Escambia, Florida, a drunk driver in a sedan switched lanes into oncoming traffic, careening and hitting Cara's SUV. Cara died at the scene of the wreck, with the drunk driver also passing away after being trapped in the sedan as it caught fire. After this crash, her original TikTok video went viral with millions of views. The post is gone now, but I can only assume that the video was filled with mixed comments of either commenting on the passing of the girl respectfully or distasteful jokes about the crash. Santorelli's family and friends all commented about the accident and how heartbroken they were to receive the news of her passing. Her workplace and school also commented on her passing, sharing sweet memories and words about the teen. The spot where the crash happened was adorned with flowers and other items to remember this girl and her unfortunate passing to a drunk driver. Drunk driving and deaths related to drunk driving are all too common in the world, with the NHTSA stating that over 11,000 drunk driving deaths occur every year, being a whole third of all traffic-related deaths in general, which is just insane. Please don't get behind the wheel of a car if you are under the influence of anything. Tony Lopez scandal. Tony Lopez is a TikTok star with over 23 million followers on TikTok. He's well known for his dancing and lip sync videos, formerly being a part of the now in shambles Hype House group, and apparently wearing MAGA hats now. He's also well known for a scandal that went on in 2021 revolving around the and sexual battery of minors. Two girls filed a lawsuit and accused Tony of soliciting nudes and coercing them into sex as minors. One of them said that he had sex with them in 2020 when he was 21, stating that she said that she was 16 at first, but then later admitted to being only 15. Even if the girl was 16, that still is a massive, major problem with Tony being 21. The other girl said that she met Tony in April of 2020 after being invited to the Hype House. She exchanged social media and phone numbers with Tony at that time, multiple times since the point of contact exchange. Tony acknowledged the girl's age of 16 years old, telling her to stop being 16. That's unfortunately for Tony, that's not how age works though, but it's not like he cared about the age of consent anyways, which is 18 in California. Despite knowing she was 16, he didn't care and still tried soliciting news from the girl, even sending his own and begging her to meet to engage in intercourse with him. At that point, he was already in hot water with another case of solicitation of a minor. Screenshots of a conversation between him and a 15-year-old showed him trying to solicit nude from the girl, and he made a response stating that he was, quote, not proud of my past choices and actions I've made, and I am truly disappointed in myself for them. Although for the other allegations, he firmly denied them, so this guy is just a freak. The bad kind of freak. I'm a freak in the good way. You know, this guy's a freak in the bad way. But like all jokes aside, this dude is genuinely disgusting and weird. A certified EDP cupcake lover for real. Taylor Frankie Paul scandal. Taylor Frankie Paul is a Mormon TikTok influencer with over 4 million followers. She was popular among influencers that were moms and Mormons. She blew up after making a video describing her experiences with swinging, a practice in which a couple will swap partners with another for sexual purposes. The type of swinging in particular mentioned in the video was soft swinging, where couples would not go the full way at intercourse in their experiences. She revealed though that she did go the full way with someone's spouse, leading to her husband filing a divorce. The scandal revolving her though is about an arrest in 2023 regarding assault and domestic violence in front of her children, which led to child abuse. Frankie, under the influence of alcohol, got into a fight with her new husband after he wouldn't take her to a concert. She started beating on him, trying to choke him, throwing and hitting him with various items like toys and even a metal chair. When she threw the metal stool at him, it missed, striking her 5-year-old daughter instead. In August, she accepted a plea deal, pleading guilty to aggravated assault. Taylor hasn't even really stepped out of the influencer light since that incident. She also has her own drama subreddit with people cataloging any sort of drama or tea, like her wearing white to another person's wedding. How scandalous. There isn't really anything else to note about her, but the situation is definitely crazy, especially with the poor child getting hit by a chair. Like, dude. Baby Totu. The Baby Totu entry is referring to a little girl that goes by the name of Totu. In 2023, many TikTokers started making videos about the little girl whose real name is Asen. Asen and her mother live in a shelter in Azerbaijan, and the video that went viral and put her into the spotlight was a video in which she gets fed from a bowl. Things are not right though, as she has a very long stare and bruises. Other videos show her with very little hair. The video that got the most popularity explaining this video and looking into the shelter was one by the user @Kelspiracy, who has been following Asen for over a year now. In the video, she explains that the owner of the shelter has had a history of abusing the children that come into the shelter, beating and starving them. Authorities were soon noted, and many of the children were relocated to other shelters, except for Asen and her mother. They remained at the shelter until her mother left, leaving Asen with the owner of the shelter, where she was used in TikTok videos as a way to gain money. Rainey. There was a big problem with many of the people coming to see Asen giving her toys, holding her, and kissing her. This wouldn't seem bad, but the repeated behavior and oddity of this makes it feel like there is something strange going on. After going through a drug rehabilitation program, Asen's mother was able to reclaim her daughter, taking her out of the abusive facility where now she looks a lot healthier. Although Conspiracy still believes that Asen is still being abused, with her newest video as of July stating that she believes she was never rescued from the shelter. People also believe that she might be dead and replaced with another child. The theories here are crazy and it's a huge rabbit hole. Rainy Street Killer TikTok. The Rainy Street Killer TikTok entry refers to the period of time in early 2023 where rumors of a serial killer in the area of Rainy Street in Austin, Texas. Apparently, over 5 dead bodies were found in the Ladybird Lake, a reservoir near Rainy Street, which created major fear about a potential serial killer on the loose. A video went viral about this where a girl speaks on how the Austin police told people not to worry but are making rounds near Rainy Street on ATVs. The reason why Rainy Street and the trailhead is considered the place where these potential murders have taken place is due to the lack of lighting. There's quite a big stretch of unlit path that seems to be the perfect place for a crime to go unnoticed. It isn't really known if there is or was a Rainy Street killer even with the deaths, as little connected to the men who died. Police also denied the existence of a supposed serial killer as well. Though after all the drowning cases in the reservoir, the city of Austin, Texas decided to spend over $1 million into upgrading the trailhead. Light fixtures were temporarily placed in 2023 after the Rainy Street Killer scare and have now been replaced by 20 permanent light fixtures in June. Railing and fencing has also been placed to stop pedestrians from accessing restricted areas, especially near the reservoir where the deaths took place. A permanent camera was also placed last year in August to monitor the place, so let's hope that the upgrades help the area flourish despite the reputation that it has. The Downtown LA Predator. The Downtown LA Predator is in reference to Daniel Silly. Wait, is that actually his name, Daniel Silly? This is how it's spelled, so I don't know. Anyways, Daniel Silly, a man who was once on YouTube that posted a TikTok. The TikTok videos he made would be recordings of him following women and harassing them. Before the creation of his TikTok account, Silly would post his videos going around saying pickup lines to various women. The name of the Downtown LA Predator came from his notoriety in the downtown LA area, with him picking up the name and proudly wearing and calling himself by this moniker. He would harass and stalk these women on his YouTube channel while ranting about various topics about women, on why the US is too safe for women and how consent is just a myth, ... Many of these women that he went up to, he never knew the age of, and upon finding out, even if they were a minor, he would continue to harass them. In 2016, he got in trouble for filming a 15-year-old girl and harassing her on the streets of LA. In 2021, Daniel's YouTube channel was terminated and he made the move over to TikTok, where he continued to do the same as what he did on YouTube. It was not until July when a YouTuber named Nick Crowley brought to light Silly's unnoticed TikTok page. The account was banned afterwards, with the possibility of Silly being under a new account uploading highly likely. If you want an in-depth look into Silly, I would recommend watching Crowley's video on Daniel. It's all creepy stuff that this man says. Jupiter the Hybrid. With the last entry, it reminded me of a predator that, while not on this list, is still a creep on TikTok. Jupiter the Hybrid is a man from Idaho named Corbin Panel. Jupiter first came into the more famous light when, in May of 2023, a YouTuber and TikToker by the name of Linda Binda, when she decided to add him to her TikTok live. They had conversations and an interview about him being a werewolf vampire hybrid, Linda being a supposed mermaid, more sexual-oriented conversations in the form of Linda coming on to Jupiter, and allegations about the R-word. In the first few seconds, Jupiter says he's from Idaho, to which Linda makes a statement that people call her the hoe. Now, Jupiter, having no riz at all, decides to say, "I'm from Idaho though, that's just the state I come from." And then in Linda's second stream, Jupiter is confronted with the allegations of pedophilia, stating that he was only dating minors, quote, for show. He says that he was doing it as a power move and that everyone should move on from it because it was just for show. The live stream goes on with more wild interview questions about Jupiter and his life. One thing he does is show off his pony wife, Sheratora, and his pony children that he manifested. Jupiter partook in a blood ritual to bring her to life and uses her as a homunculus to drink blood from and to impregnate. 2008. And then after that, my script here just says, what the hell, LOL in all caps. Genuinely, this dude is insane, and his explanation of how he gets Sheratora pregnant is crazy. Unfortunately, Sheratora is dead. I know, cry all your tears and put out flowers in remembrance. Jupiter decided to burn Sheratora and his children / other ponies after his supposed new 15-year-old girlfriend told him to. In the video of Jupiter burning the ponies, he is so hesitant, like he doesn't really want to do it, and unfortunately, his marriage and bonding with his ex-wife Sheratora didn't change his actions, and he went through with the cremation of Sheratora and her children. In the third live stream, Jupiter states some crazy things, like that he wants to kill the people who have wronged him and the people who called him a pedophile. Jupiter also stated that he stopped talking to minors, saying, quote, "It would be better if we all stayed friends until they're older," which is a crazy thing to say. Jupiter attributes smoking cigarettes and getting high off nicotine to the reason for why he started talking to minors, which is the stupidest thing ever. Jupiter has already been investigated by the police with having his phone and other electronics taken away, but has been able to get another phone and continue with his disgusting behavior. Now, I want to clarify, guys, I know I made a few jokes talking about that, and I'm not done yet, but I just want to throw this in here. But I'm joking about it because of how awful it is. Like, I'm not at all trying to make light of this. Like, this is a horrible thing that he's doing. This guy is awful. I just want to clarify, like, I'm only laughing because it's like how I'm, like, I guess coping with how stupid and, like, awful this is. Anyways, there must be some bloodline problem because not only has Jupiter been outed as a predator, but so have numerous of his family members, including 2 of his brothers. Jupiter also has had his sister come out and speak about the heinous things he's done regarding her when they were children. In the March of 2024, Jupiter went on a podcast with YouTubers Kiwi Tapes and Smokey McSee, 2 people covering Jupiter's disgusting behavior. Jupiter went on after Kiwi asked him for paranormal help, but it quickly went to his nicotine minor grooming highs and a step-by-step process on how he would groom minors. Genuinely, this live stream is so crazy. Jupiter self-incriminates himself so badly here, and my explanation doesn't do the whole stream enough justice. There's still a lot going on with Jupiter, and I would advise you to go on the Kiwi Tapes or Smokey McSee channels to get a real deep dive. They also talk about other like predators and internet weirdos like Nova Online, Sirax, Chris Chan, and Daniel Larson. Isabella Guzman edits. Isabella Guzman edits refer to the various amount of edits for convicted Isabella Guzman. If you don't know what an edit is exactly, they're videos featuring a specific person with various edits and transitions, mostly used by teens to highlight like their crushes on TV shows and celebrities and stuff. Edits of Isabella exist because many view her as a baddie, which is apparently enough for a lot of people to absolve them of their crimes and idolize them, as with various fandoms of people idolizing mass shooters. The Isabella Guzman case originally started in 2013 when then 18-year-old Colorado teen Isabella Guzman stabbed her mother 79 times. Guzman pleaded not guilty by insanity and was admitted into a mental institution after doctors found that she suffered from schizophrenia. She was held there until she petitioned that it was not a danger to anyone anymore. In 2020, video footage from her court hearing in 2013 was found and used to make the edit videos, with specific parts of the hearing where she smirks and smiles at the cameras. The most used song for the edits was Sweet But Psycho by Ava Max. The song was used to describe Guzman because, quote, "Oh, how could a girl so pretty do something so bad?" This reminded me of another case in 2018, where an influencer by the name of Cameron Herron had a collision that killed a woman and child after street racing going over 100 miles an hour in a 45 zone. In 2021, a video of his court hearing got popular and edits were made because people found him hot. Do not ever idolize or glorify murder and criminals, even if they are hot, is disgusting and stupid. Haneen Hamzin account. What I believe this entry is referring to is someone by the name of Haneen Hossam, not Haneen Handsome. Haneen Hossam is an Egyptian TikTok star well known for her dancing and lip-syncing videos, but in 2020 she became more well known for her arrest. After encouraging her female followers to join a social media platform to make money by dancing and live streaming, she was arrested for going against family and Egyptian society values. Because she encouraged her 1.3 million followers to live stream themselves and work for her to make money, she was arrested, with officials saying the act of getting girls, especially those underage, is immoral and inciting debauchery and an exploitation of women. Her arrest was only a part of Egyptian government's fight against influencers as TikTok rose in popularity in the country. In 2021, Hossam and other women were acquitted of the charges, but later the prosecutors gave them a more severe charge of human trafficking, with Hossam receiving getting 10 years in prison for it. Hussam and numerous other women made the argument that cybercrime laws in Cairo and Egypt were against working class women and violated their right to expression, freedom, and privacy. This argument led to a retrial where Hussam was still found guilty of human trafficking, being given a sentence of 3 years in prison and an over $10,000 US fine. This is way blown out of proportion, and I definitely do believe that Hussam did not do any kind of human trafficking. Using people to work for you and giving them a small cut of the money is just like capitalism, right? Back in 2008, Machinima used to be like the least liked company because of their bad payouts and their use of content on YouTube before monetization was like a real thing with the partner program. If the Egyptian government saw that, the mastermind would have been charged the same. Then again, maybe not if it isn't a woman. Egypt does have a huge problem with misogyny and silencing female activists. I, Poi, hereby declare that I love women. I read feminist literature all day. Woo! Zachary Latham murder. The Zachary Latham murder entry refers to a murder done by TikToker Zachary Latham in 2020. The neighbors of Zachary were not on good terms with him, stating that they had a problem with his driving, saying that they believed it to be reckless and endangering their children. Latham, being the epic, so cool TikToker, decided to post the interactions between him and his neighbors, the Durhams. Most of these interactions were heated and he dubbed them as Karens. One of these videos blew up and gained over 3 million views, and then on May 4th, Latham was arrested after another heated clash that led to Mr. Durham's death. The Durham family stated that Latham did the killing to become TikTok famous. Both the wife of Mr. Durham and his sons were charged with trespassing and the assault of Latham, while Latham was charged with manslaughter. Latham and his lawyers stated he was acting out of self-defense, with the story that Mr. Durham and his sons came onto Latham's property. The Durhams, however, stated that Latham was trying to lure him to start a fight. Latham was acquitted of the manslaughter charge, although was charged with aggravated assault after brandishing and threatening someone with an airsoft AK-47 in an act of road rage. Obviously this dude is trash, and even after this, he got in trouble again for stalking a woman and secretly recording them having intercourse. It isn't truly clear if Mr. Latham wanted to become TikTok famous, but evidence points toward it, with his wife recording the incident that ended with Mr. Durham's death. User Jinkid murder. The Jinkid murder refers to a double murder done by the TikToker Jinkid, or Ali Abulaban, in 2021. The account had nearly 1 million followers, and Ali was famous for making skits. In 2021, he was having troubles with his wife, Anna, believing that she was cheating on him. To prove this, he used his 5-year-old daughter's iPad and downloaded a secret recorder onto the device. When he overheard Anna talking to a man who was later found out to be her friend, Raymond Barron, Ali went to the apartment with a gun, shooting Raymond 3 times and striking Anna in the head. Both were dead, and Ali was put into custody after telling his mother and police of the murder, being convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder after his confession in May of this year, in 2024. His verdict and sentencing was supposed to come out on June 26 this year, but has been delayed to a further date of September 6th. Ali could face up to life in prison for his crimes. Ugg Henry TikTok. This entry refers to a video posted on TikTok in 2020 by user @UggHenry. The video is of a group of teens who, after using the exploration app Randonautica, came across a suitcase on a beach. When one of the teens was egged on to open the suitcase, they found that it had a black bag in it, and inside the bag were the remains of 2 human bodies. The remains belonged to 35-year-old woman Jessica Lewis and 27-year-old man Austin Winter, with both dead by gunshot wounds. The video went popular and created a trend of teens using the Randonautica app and their supposed disturbing findings. The way the Randonautica app works is that it generates a random set of coordinates close to the user as a way to get them outside to explore. The app has had no intentions of leading people to anything disturbing, but accounts have made it seem that way, attributing a feature where users can set intentions for their coordinates and finding meaning in that. One thing I saw during the time that proved this was real and spooky was one group of teens putting the word rainbow as an intention and having the coordinates give them a location which had a rainbow item at it. It's pretty spooky, right? The deaths of the 2 people were quickly found to be attributed to their landlord, Michael Dudley, after they owed him rent. Dudley was found guilty with the murder of both Austin and Jessica and was sentenced to 46 years in prison. Rhinesha Gretch and Kira TikTok. This entry refers to a TikTok video from 2023 of a girl sleepover where Rhinesha Gretch and her friends bully and assault Kira Hart, stabbing her with scissors and threatening her with a knife. The 14-year-old Australian teen was left severely injured, having to go to the hospital and needing surgery. Rhanisha Gretsch and her friend Chloe Denman were both put into jail, but were bailed out by their parents shortly after. They also received fines and would go into social media trying to defend their actions. The parents of Kira believe that they didn't get sufficient justice, and that is the sentiment with many who have seen this incident. It's fortunate that Kira made it out alive though, and it's safe to say that it is an experience that not only Kira will remember for the rest of her life, but also Rhanisha and her friends. Hopefully to the point where they actually feel remorseful, but this is just awful and evil. Aaliyah Salazar TikTok. In 2022, while filming a TikTok dancing video with two people, 14-year-old Colorado teen Aaliyah Salazar was fatally shot in the head. Two teens and one adult were arrested in connection to the crime, with the weapon being a Glock 19 that was legally owned by Emiliano Vargas, a 21-year-old man charged with providing a minor with a firearm. Police say that in the background of the video, moments before her death, someone was fiddling with an object with a teen, later mentioning that they saw one point the gun at Aaliyah and shooting before tossing the gun into a bed in the home where the incident took place. When asked about whether it was purposeful, the teen believed that it could have been an accident, but that isn't really believed by the family of Aaliyah. Mishandling of firearms is all too common and has led to accidents before. I remember seeing a news report of a little girl accidentally firing upon her shooting instructor with, I believe, an Uzi, but it's especially common with younger people and the ill-informed. The two girls were charged with manslaughter and due to being only minors, face up to 6 years maximum. The family believes that this justice system is focused on the future of the children instead of the teen girl who no longer even has one, and states that there should be real consequences for this death. No matter your stance on the law and the handling of this case, it is unfortunate that a girl so young would be killed over something that very well could have just been ignorance. As we've seen with many other cases of murder, people being in the wrong place at the wrong time is all too common. All we can do is bring light to the situation and other situations similar and remember the lives of children who were taken too soon. DuckPack51 on TikTok. DuckPack51 is the name of a deleted blogspot page that posted gore and one specific video that went viral on TikTok in 2021. The video in question was a bait and switch gore video that went unmoderated for a time on TikTok. In the beginning, we see a young girl dancing to a song, a very normal video for TikTok, everyone dances and lip syncs, but the video switches to the girl almost being beheaded. You might be thinking, who is this woman and who would record and post something like this and murder her? Well, what if I told you that the person in the gore video dying was not the same woman dancing in the video? In fact, the woman in the video isn't a woman at all, but instead a 19-year-old man. While many were convinced these two people were the same, the person in the gore video was in fact a 19-year-old man from Mexico named Jose Rodolfo Baluchi Botello. Jose began his career in criminal activities at the age of 15, mainly stealing cars, and then his body was scattered to send messages about extortion, basically just like to send a message. Claire Miller murder. The Claire Miller murder refers to a murder case in 2021 where 14-year-old Claire Miller murdered her disabled sister, 19-year-old Helen Miller. Helen Miller, who had cerebral palsy, needed to be constantly cared for, and was cared for by her parents and Claire. In February, after feeling overshadowed by her sister, Claire decided to grab a knife and stab Helen to death. After stabbing Helen, she called the cops who arrived at the same time as her unsuspecting parents. Also, in that same time frame were TikTok videos posted of a latex glove in snow covered in blood, and a stuffed giraffe also covered in blood. The police noted that her clothes were covered in blood and that there was a red patch of snow on the ground outside the house, as if someone was cleaning their hands. In the house, police discovered a knife lodged into Helen's neck. As hard as the responder tried, it was in vain, as Helen was pronounced dead at 4 a.m. at the scene of the crime. In the days following the murder, Claire's 22,000 follower TikTok account would blow up, gaining over 11,000 new followers and millions of views on the TikToks of the glove and of the giraffe. Claire told the judge about her depression and psychotic disorder, and it was evident that she was mentally ill, but not mentally disabled to the point where it would affect her sentencing. Claire was tried as an adult due to Pennsylvania's stance on murder, stating that it isn't a delinquent crime, and pled guilty to third-degree murder and expected to get up to 40 years in prison. User Beanbag Adventures. Beanbag Adventures is a Chinese TikToker and urban explorer who, in 2022, visited an old building which held disturbing secrets. The building was soon found to be an old Chinese laboratory, and after exploring and uploading the content, it was made clear that it was a supposed organ harvesting lab. Beanbag's first note is the bad smell that emanated in the building, and going further down in the basement, he finds a pool of water with decaying bodies of what are believed to be children. Beanbag states that what we saw were just props, but this is most likely just a way to get past moderation. Many believe the video was fake, citing the way the video was edited and the words he used when describing the bodies. Beanbag first visited in January of 2022, but then he returned in December of the same year. That time, Beanbag discovered bottles and clothes that were not there before, and when going back into the basement, the pool of bodies were more decayed, with more bodies than the first time he visited. Beanbag would visit a few more times, finding more bones of both and adults, fetuses in jars, more miscellaneous children's clothes, and more. The reason why this is believed to be an organ harvesting lab is due to the sheer amount of body bones and the fact that almost all the bodies had their chest cavities open. God. Anyways, that's the end of the iceberg. There's a lot of creepy stuff at the end there. I think I'm a bit traumatized by looking at the supposed dead for like 15 minutes at 3 a.m. The things I do for you guys, bro. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and liking. I'm trying to reach 100k by the end of the year, as I already said, and I think we can do it. If you believe that any of my research was actually wrong, feel free to converse about it in the comments. I'm not free from missing information and looking at things wrong, so I could be wrong about some of this stuff, but I did my very best. Remember to hug your teddy bear extra close tonight and think about how grateful you are to be alive and safe, and remember to keep hydrated, and remember to go to the bathroom with caution. The skibidi toilet could pop out at any second.